to close reading. I'm following along in your distance learning pack. So today, our objective, goal, that is what we are trying to accomplish by the end of this lesson. What are we doing? We're doing a cold read. That means to read something for the first time. We have not warmed up to it. We have no idea what it's about. The second one, how are we doing that? We're using some great reader strategies. So let's talk about what great readers do as they read. When great readers read, they visualize. That means to create a picture in your mind. This is as you're watching TV. You can see. The base word in visualize is visual. It means you can see what's going on. Our second great reader strategy is context clues. All great readers come across words that they may not understand. We use context clues to figure it out. Context is what's going on around the word. We also chunk the text. Chunk the text. That means to break down the text into smaller parts so that we can understand it better. And our last great reader strategy we're going to be working on is the who and what. And that goes along with chunking the text. Who, asking ourselves, who is the text talking about? And what are they doing? Or what is going on? We are not annotating on our first read. We annotate on our second read. We are reading this time to understand the main idea, what's mostly going on. All right, guys. This is going along with our American Revolution unit. As we read, I want you to think about what the text is mostly talking about. What is the main idea? The title of this text is Daughters of Liberty, Spinning for Liberty. It is a play with acts. Scene 1. 1748, Boston Commons. Narrator. Women in colonial America often met to work and talk together. As they spun, sewed, and knitted, they discussed events in their communities, their colonies, and the mother country, England. Soon, political groups were being formed by women. In 1748, a group of 300 Boston women held a political rally in the Boston Commons. They set up their spinning wheels and spent the day working to protest the English control of trade. English visitor. I say, what's going on here? Why are you sitting in the Commons doing your spinning? Haven't you got homes? Pasty Blair. We have. We've got very nice homes filled with furniture made in England out of our trees. Helen Dixon. We read books printed in England. We wear dresses made out of cloth manufactured in England. The English visitor. You're very lucky. The English factories are the finest in the world, you know. Pasty Blair. We think the colonies should build their own factories and produce their own furniture and books and cloth. Helen Dixon. Why should we send our natural resources to English factories? The English visitor. English workers would lose their jobs. Then they'd be angry at the king. They wouldn't do that at all. Pasty Blair. We want to create jobs here in the colonies. We want to keep our business and our money here. Helen Dixon. We've come here today to spin our own cloth, to show people that we don't need to depend on England to supply us the things we need. The English Visitor. Pardon me for saying, ladies, but the cloth you spin is very rough. Really? Wouldn't you rather feel English cloth against your skin? Pacey Blair. You asked us to pay too high a price for English silk. The English Visitors. A few shillings a yard. Surely you can afford that. Helen Dixon. Not until we're free to produce cloth here or buy it from any country we choose. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of liberty. Now, if you excuse me, sir, we have work to do. Scene. Act 1. So we're going to ask ourselves, who is this first act talking about and what is going on, so that we can keep track of the main idea. Y'all know Miss Berry love her good old T-chart. So, there are a lot of characters in your books. All right. Who and what? I know that there are some English people. I'm going to abbreviate. And some colonies people. Women from the colonies. Women. What is going on? They're having an argument. Sorry. Their argument is about where they should manufacture their goods, or where they should make the cloth, the silk, the clothing. So they argue about where to make clothes. And this is all for Act 1. We're going to do the same thing for Act 2. Act 2, Scene 1. This is 1766. So this is like almost 20 years later from Act 1. In Providence, Rhode Island. This is the narrator. And the narrator is setting the scene, telling you what's going on. They are not a part of the play. In addition to controlling trade in the colonies, England wanted the colonists to pay taxes on certain goods. In 1765, England passed the Stamp Act. Official stamps had to appear on all important documents, newspaper, pamphlets, advertisements, even playing cards. The stamps cost money. Who remembers reading about the Stamp Act? The stamps cost money and so were a form of tax. The colonists were outraged. Two groups sprang up to fight the unfair tax. One was a women's group called the Daughters of Liberty. One was a men's group called the Sons of Liberty. These groups formed all over the colonies at about the same time, but the first Daughters of Liberty meeting was probably held in 1766 in Providence, Rhode Island. I just had a connection. When we went to the museum, we saw the Sons of Liberty killing the taxmen. Let's keep reading. Charity Spencer. I refuse to buy stamps. England leaves the money to pay for the soldiers it was sent here for the colonies. I don't want the soldiers here. I don't want a tax to support them. Abigail Good. We have no voice in Parliament. We pay taxes, yet we have no one to speak for us in the English government. That's taxation without representation. It's our money. We should have a say in how it's spent. India Bradford. The Stamp Act is unfair. We all know that. The question is, what are we going to do about it? I agree with Charity. I won't buy the stamps. I say we ignore the Stamp Act. Abigail Good. That may not be enough. We should make sure that no one buys the stamps. Charity. How? Abigail. When the stamps arrive from England, send them back or take them and make sure they're not sold. The Sons of Liberty are planning to meet the ships. I'll be there too. As a daughter of Liberty, I'll be there too. India. The British won't like that. Let's not forget, they have troops stationed here. It would be easy for the king to order them to take the stamps back from us. Abigail Good. Not if the stamps are destroyed. India. This is a big step. It could lead to real trouble between the colonies and England. Charity. There's already real trouble between us. We just ask that we be treated fairly by England. So who and what? What is going on? Who is Act 2 about?